Irish Patriots versus the woke loony lefties. Let's go. I think it's fair to say there's a lot of misery in the world today. There's a lot of misery in Ireland today. But have you ever heard of Mount Misery? Well, probably not, unless you live in Ferrybank in County Waterford. Mount Misery is a rock that's quite famous in the area. It's a rock face, shall I say, on the side of a hill that shines out to far and wide and can be seen from quite a long way off. And it's very popular over the years for people to paint this rock face in various different colours, usually revolving around the inter-county tribal rivalry, hurling rivalry and Gaelic football rivalry between the counties of Waterford and Kilkenny, because it's in Ferrybank, and Ferrybank is just on the border of both counties, so it's a pretty contentious platform and billboard, if you like. But it's come to light recently for altogether other reasons, because whilst it has been painted in usually the football or hurling colours over the years, lately it's started to veer into more political things. Like you had when we were running the referendum to repeal the abortion laws, that sort of got up there. It's also been painted in the LGBT flag colours to highlight their particular issues. But the latest iteration was Palestine and Gaza orientated. Because as anyone in Ireland can tell you and attest to, we are being absolutely carpet bombed by the whole Gaza situation here. It was Ukraine last year possibly, but it's definitely all Palestine, it's all Gaza, it's all Palestinians this year. And it's an absolutely incessant deluge of media coverage. Now, I'm not in any way or for a second saying there's not a lot of atrocious atrocities going on in that part of the world, and it's a very, very deeply complicated situation, and a lot of suffering is happening. Nobody would deny that, but we are being fed a constant deluge of Palestinian Gaza coverage by the mainstream media and by the political parties, and I fully believe that is quite simply to distract the public at large from problems at home. Because, with all due respect, there are terrible situations going on all over the world, going on in Ukraine, of course, going on in the Sudan, going on in Nigeria. They're also going on in the Congo and in many, many other places. But with all due respect, whilst I have full empathy and sympathy for all of those situations and all the unfortunate people, civilians mostly, who get caught up in these terrible situations and civil wars and revolts and revolutions and all kinds of things, really and realistically, they're nothing to do with Ireland. Nothing at all. We have no link to Yemen, really. We have no real link to Palestine, the Palestinians. There's just no link there. We are a small island with a small population on the furthest western edge of Europe. Suddenly we must be invested fully, and we must all march regularly and voice our opinions about these conflicts and these situations, which we have no control over whatsoever. We can't influence them one way or the other. Just like back in my day, when I was a kid in the mid-70s, the whole Khmer Rouge thing was going on. And absolutely atrocities you wouldn't believe. The killing fields and all of that stuff. And that was a 5-minute segment on the 6 o'clock news. Again, it was an absolutely abhorrent situation going on there. We all knew what the bones of what was going on, but we weren't really invested in it. It was just a thing, and it was part of a myriad of other things. But now today, no, it has to be wall-to-wall coverage of whatever conflict or revolution du jour the people at the top of the chattering classes actually care about. We all have to care about it. But I say it's a distraction, because what's going on in Ireland is immense. It's unprecedented. We are in the midst of an actual soft genocide of the Irish as a distinct people. I've said this many times, and I'm saying it again. So where does the misery rock come in here? Well, it comes in because recently the woke lefty brigade, as part of this whole marching up and down the street waving Palestinian flags, you know the type of people I'm talking about. They were outside the GPO last time our Patriots marched under the tricolour. The same kind of people decided they were going to paint this rock, this very prominent rock, on a hill in Waterford with the whole Palestine situation to make sure everybody knows about it. As if anybody in Ireland didn't or couldn't know about it, because it's in our faces 24/7. But to any of you out there who think patriotism and patriots are an extinct species here in Ireland. I say no, they're not. Maybe a little bit dormant at times, but they're definitely making a strong comeback as the last few marches around the country, the sea of tricolours, should show you beyond any reasonable doubt. What did the Patriots down in Waterford think about this foreign flag flying on top of Mount Misery? Well, they decided, quite rightly in my view, that if there's going to be a flag flying from that hill, there's only one flag that should be there. And they set about righting the wrong immediately. And here's how that went. Don't you just love to see it? Those are the sights that fill my Irish heart with joy. But not everyone was pleased. Not everyone was impressed. No, absolutely not. There's always the crusty element out there. So let's check in with a local crusty from Ferrybrank and see what he had to say about it.
I don't even have a stitch of makeup on. I am fresh out the bed, but this needs to be spoken about and this needs to be talked about right the fuck now.
I assumed it was a bloke. How the hell am I supposed to know? It's a he, she, it, they, them. There was no lads like this around in my day. Yes, well, we appreciate all voices from all different sides of the aisle here on this channel. The great, the good, the big and the small. So, buckle up, boys and girls. I think we got a live one here.
Because the boo-boo bullshit tomfoolery I have seen on my story this morning has gotten me now, without a stitch of makeup, on camera, talking about this bit. So let's talk about how the rock at Mount Misery was painted over. The Free Palestine mural at Mount Misery was painted over. In hopes of what? Let's talk about it. Let's talk. So as a Ferrybank resident, I have to see Mount Misery every day. Every day when I'm walking home, I look up and I see that mural, I see that wall, I see the Free Palestine. And I am proud to be a Waterford citizen. I'm proud to be from this city, and our city stand on business so much so that when you're leaving our town, the last message we're telling you is Free Palestine. That is what it should be. That's how it should be all across the globe. If it was like that all across the globe, we wouldn't have to fucking say Free Palestine because we'd already have a Free Palestine.
And dare I say it, my old scout, if you were over in Palestine right now, they'd probably be looking for a tall building to throw you off. I say the only flag I and most people in this country want to see when they're entering or leaving Waterford is the tricolour. The flag of Ireland, the flag of our people, the flag of our ancestors. I suggest if you or any of your other crusty commie mates want to fly the Palestinian flag and live under Palestinian rule, then why don't you all go and live in the Palestinian territories and see how that works out for you. I can assure you, you won't be missed here.